Interaction, it's so important, isn't it?
It is
a really good point. That's why we started this, and I like. Of course, I want to talk to football people. As I said, John, I want to talk to people like you because you've been in your industry, or you're just part of the industry. I want to ask both you, how did it start for you, John? How did it start for you to getting into the TV industry?
Me, it started with a hole in Mum's kitchen table. Back in when I was about 14.
A hole in Mum's kitchen table?
Yeah, well, I'd been to the Royal Melbourne Show and I'd seen the ABC caravan, and there was a hole through the middle of the table with a microphone stand, and then out of it were two microphones hanging off it. And I thought, that looks like a fantastic idea. So I came home and got a chisel and bashed out the middle of Mum's kitchen table, put a broomstick down the middle of it and put a bar across the two and two toilet roll holders, and I had myself a studio. Now, you reckon that Mum would have gone berserk, right? She said, well, dear, obviously you have a bent, you want to do something like this, that's fair enough. So she got a doily, put it over the top, little pot plant, Bob's your auntie. So that was the beginning, and then on to 3AW radio school eventually, got kicked out of there because I'm in fact dyslexic, believe it or not, and couldn't read the copy. The pipes were good, but I couldn't read the copy properly because of dyslexia. Wow. And back in the 1800s, people thought it was just Johnny was slow. Dyslexia wasn't really a recognised condition.
Johnny gets that all the time for being over 6 foot. He does. He gets it all the time.
He doesn't like anybody over 6 foot tall.
Thomas, you know what?
How did you find that? When did you find out about that? Because that.
Well, the dyslexia.
Yeah.
Dyslexia, well, it wasn't diagnosed. It was just like, when I was at Ripponlea State School, everyone thought, little Johnny's just slow. So I went then to Caulfield Tech and was kicked out a year 3. I got my sub-inter, if anybody remembers that, and the headmaster said, listen, you probably have to repeat year 3 or I'll give you your sub-inter now and you can go away. And so I took the sub-inter and went, and Mum, God bless her, she could not have afforded it, put me through Taylor's Business College, if you remember Taylor's back in the day, and I had the distinction of being the only person to fail Taylor's twice. And it was then Mum got the age out and said, right, we're going to get you a job. Now let's see. So I started my working life at 15 years of age.
And where was that? Was that in?
That was in Richmond at a engineering company as an office boy. I eventually then went to become selling toilets at Roger Suller and My Hill, a very upmarket hardware store. Then got into radio through the 3AW radio school, but got kicked out of that because I couldn't read. The dyslexia was then acknowledged as such, and went to Clark Sinclair, who was a radio school as well. That was in about 1967. Then I got my first job at 2RG Griffith, MTN Channel 9 in New South Wales, and it went on from there.
Fantastic, mate. Now, have you always had that voice, or did you have to train that voice? Because it is one
I know what you mean, but look, it's like if you guys, went out and kicked a footy now, you'd kick it as you would have. It might be a bit stiffer or whatever, but it's something that instinctively. So, I use my pipes every day doing JB, you've done it again, or whatever, or the following program is what. So it's something that is instinctive and is glued in there, thank goodness. So, yeah.
Well, that's a great story considering, because a lot of people that would just stop them, actually having dyslexia and that said, I can't do it.
Well, I was also lucky, JB, because Simon, I was able to read a lot of copy. Back in the day, you were given like a stack of copy to read live. So today, there's not that opportunity. It's all pre-recorded. So really, I was very lucky back then, so I'd be able to read all that copy and kind of work it out. And it was as if you had a bit of a gammy leg or some sort of problem, and if you worked on it every single day, you'll hopefully get better.
Well, that's fantastic. That's great.